Hey, Single Mom Explorer here. It's been forever, and for those of you who have actually been following me or have followed me, thank you, and I'm sorry that I've been MIA. But I wanted to get on today really to talk about what I'm feeling like. Like I'm a single mom, right? I'm a survivor of domestic violence. We know that. And I have 4 children, 3 sons and a daughter. I live in the United States, right? I live in New Jersey, and I like it where I am. I feel safe and a part of the community here. I have friends here that are very loving and very kind. And in fact, the reason why I'm decided to really record this morning, 2 reasons. First reason was I couldn't sleep last night, and I found myself getting angry and caught up in like all the things that I've been seeing on social media, and hearing the discussions between family and some friends, and it's a lot, and I just toss and turn because for me personally, I'm against racism. I'm against being, impartial. It's just, not who I have become as an adult and as a mom. And I worked really hard, and I continue to work to try to give my children like this sense of, unitedness. Like, we're all a family here. We're friends. It's, there are good people and there are bad people of every like race, whatever, right? And it seems like the more I try to express that to them, the more that the world and what's really happening kind of makes me look like a hypocrite in this situation, because I tell my sons, you don't see color, right? When you talk about people or you introduce people, it shouldn't be, oh yeah, my friend, my black friend or my white friend or my Asian friend or what have you, or that little girl over there, that black girl over there, like, or that white girl with the pink shirt, like I've never done that. And I was determined to not do that for my children. And, I was successful for a while, right? Until they went to school. And it's funny how both of my sons, I have a disabled son, so he doesn't talk, so I don't know if he's had this experience, but with my 2 children who are verbal, they had this experience. And I remember the day like it was yesterday. My oldest son is 21, and when he went to kindergarten for the first time away from me, he came home on his first day of school, and he said to me, "Hey mom, did you know that I'm different, that I'm black, and that this person is white?" And at that time, I was much younger, much wilder, and I was incredibly upset because I consciously made the effort to not do that with him, right? And I was so mad. I do recall this. I don't know where this teacher is now or what have you, but I approached her. First, I told my son before I approached her, how dare she, and she's stupid. I told him that. I said, your teacher's stupid because clearly she doesn't know her colors. First and foremost, there's no such thing as a black person, because that would mean you'd look like this crayon in this box. This crayon is black. Do you look like this color? No. What color do you look like? And he's looking between there like 2 types of browns. And I said, yeah, so you're not, you're more so, the fact is you're brown, you're not black. However, there's also no race of people from a country called black. It's no such thing. Same for white, right? There's no such country called white where there are people, and that would then make them white people because that's a country called white. So the ignorance there infuriated me. And on top of the fact that I had him understanding and explaining things about people that he did not see color. It was the little girl with the curly hair, that girl with the pink shirt, or the little girl right there, whatever, or however, never. And so when he came home and said to me, "Did you know I was black?" I was irate. hot on fire. And I told her just what I told him, that she was stupid and how dare she. And clearly she may need to reconsider why she found it important or even necessary to educate kindergartners on their first couple days of school to immediately identify their race and to say, oh, well, you're different, but, you know, it's okay. So, you know, she felt threatened by me, and she should have at that time, true, because I was pissed off. But that was her, I don't know what her motives were, don't care, but it really upset me. And then I had to put in the work with my son to not be disrespectful to her, you know, and I had to apologize because I didn't want to be ignorant like her and to raise my children that way. So again, my next son experienced that same thing. He's 7 now. However, with that being the case, don't care. I still have hope, and I still understand my brownness, right? My Americanness, my African heritage that I don't really know anything about. So I can't just say like, oh, you know, yes, I am obviously, I would say obviously, of African descent. I'm saying obviously because I've never had a DNA test, so I don't know exactly anything about really, you know, my history or my background genetically or speaking. But obviously I'm brown, so I'm from somewhere where there's a lot of brown people, so I accept that. But in the interim, I'm American. I'm just as American as anyone else, out of the fact that I've been here for hundreds of years. My family before me, that's all we know. So however we ended up here, whether we voluntarily came here or we were brought here involuntarily, the fact remains that I'm more American than, you know, I'm just as American as a Native American, right? They're more American than everybody. They were here first. But I'm just as American as the next guy. So for someone to be ignorant enough to say like, oh, you're, you know, an African American, well, you're a white American, and there you have it. But you don't check yourself in that situation. And for people to be fighting people and killing people and treating any human being like they're nothing, like they're garbage, it's disgusting to me. And I'm upset about it. And it makes me restless because then I think like, man, all my hard work, like to help my children not see color, is in vain because it's thrown back at us. Their color. Well, yeah, that's great. You know, you don't see color, but you're still a black American. You're a black man and you're still in danger. So like if you want to stand up for yourself and for your rights, you run the risk of just being taken out regardless with no consequence. And that's really the truth. That's the truth. And I don't have a husband anymore. I don't have a father figure to explain to my children from a male perspective what they need to do, how they need to act, or how it is in a man's world, how they should be feeling. All I have is my emotional, maternal instincts. All I have is, you know, fear. And like, I guess mother bear syndrome, where I feel like I want to protect my kids. I want to take them away from this drama and shield them and continue to educate them and pump them with the hope that they can rise above, they can be better. At this point, I don't feel like I want to stay in the United States right now. And I know that there's, unfortunately, racism everywhere, you know. We know what's happening even in China with this, treating the Africans from Africa who are in China, putting them out and treating them like crap, you know, because of the COVID or whatever reasons that they want to use to say that. I don't find that to be the case. You know, I don't know because I don't really follow the news. I don't follow politics because it's just depressing. It's depressing. And, you know, the true story is really ignorance is bliss, because if I don't get involved and I turn off my social media and I get off of the internet and I don't turn on the TV, I can live in my bubble of ignorance and I can I can live in my bubble of ignorance, and I can, you know, continue to live and be hopeful and be kind and be loving, which is the type of person that I truly am. But if I have to watch TV, I have to look at the news, I have to step outside, and I have to see lawn signs and people, you know, promoting hatred and not stepping back and understanding and just owning the fact that, I mean, crap, it's wrong. Like, stuff is wrong. It's not about your political affiliations, you know. If you want to use political affiliations to mask your hatred or to mask your racism, okay, you know, whatever. But I respect the fact that if a person is racist, own it, say it. It is what it is. But for me, when I don't like you and I don't like something, trust and believe, I will not even want your money. I don't want nothing from you. I don't want your money. I don't want your clothes. I don't want your groceries. I don't want nothing from you, okay? Because if I say I don't like you, I don't like you. And I don't want to have anything to do with you. All I would like is for people who are this way to own it. And be honest. Don't patronize me, right? I don't want to patronize you. Put your hatred signs up and put your flags up and let it be known that this is how you roll, so that only those who support you and your beliefs will support you. Make money only off of them, right? But that would be like reasonable and having common sense. And that's why racism and racist people have no common sense, because I don't want your money if I hate you. I don't want nothing to do with it. I don't even want you in my facility or in my space, and I don't care what the rules say. I can have my establishment and make it how I want, but you guarantee will not be using it and utilizing it regardless. I can respect that though, because that's your right as a human being. That's your right as a American citizen or whatever other country that you want to participate in, that you want to do that stuff. So it's cool. My fear now is that the anger that is brewing, the anger, the pain, the hurt, the like, all of that brown people in this country and other countries, but especially in this country, have been sitting on. It's always there. You know we're not even second-rate citizens here, right? We know that. But we hide it, we hoard it, and a lot of times we self-destruct, and we become self-destructive amongst our own people because we can't get it out. I know that's happened to everybody, right? Happened to me personally. When I'm angry, someone's hurt me, and I'm like when I was in an abusive relationship, I tried to stay for the sake of the children, because I didn't want them to grow up in a fatherless home, right? I didn't want them to feel less than. So I thought, I'll take the brunt of that abuse. It'll be on me so that they can be happy, right? It wasn't proper thinking. I know that now, right? But that's the reason why I stayed. And what I did to myself to deal with that, I drank every day, a lot, definitely an alcoholic for sure. And I was a functional alcoholic in most cases. I was drinking from the time I woke up in the morning until I took them to school, and all day. It's just what it was, because I was hurt. I didn't know what else to do. And when you have that much anger, that much rage, that much hopelessness, it implodes and we become self-destructive. I firmly believe that, right? And so now, as a race of people in this country, we have so much of that built into our being. It's in there. And when things like this happen and it boils up and comes out, violence happens. It happens to other people, and you're just so angry and you want someone to feel your pain. You want someone to understand it's wrong, like how you feel, how hurt you are. But you can't just go beating up people and killing people and blowing up stuff. It's not right. And I understand that rage. It's still there. It's going to be there. It's probably going to be there forever, right? Until God himself changes it, because no man can. And that's just the bottom line. We can't, because we're imperfect, and because we're sinful, and because we are emotional beings. and we're not perfect, and we don't know how to do stuff like how God would do it. You know, that's just the real truth. All we can do is take our opportunity as human beings to love each other, to forgive each other, and to put aside the rage and the aggression, and to have open dialogue. You know, like to talk to people, to, you know, let go and try to start over, but to really start over. Like, our foundation in this country is built on equality. It's built on treachery. It's built on the backs of other people, of other races. It's just what it is, right? And that's okay, right? At the end of the day, it's here. We have what we have. But it don't have to stay that way. Like, we can make changes. You can say, okay, this is how it started, but this is how it's going to end. And we're going to progress to this level. And so this rule and this law may be this case, but we're going to have a zero tolerance policy. So at any point in time that something like this happens, until we can weed it out, this will be the consequence regardless. And it needs to be unified. You know, there is no, oh, well, you suspended with pay, we'll have a trial, maybe you'll go to jail for 6 months, or you'll lose your pension. Who gives a crap? You murder, you know, go to prison, go to jail, lose your job, you lose everything. You don't get an opportunity to put stuff to the side and like whatever. That shouldn't be what it is, right? And it should be fair across the board. If this person can stand up to the police without getting shot, then this person should be able to stand up to the police without getting shot. It needs to be unified. And a country that claims to be a united state is anything but. And the hypocrisy of it is laughable. And at this point, I just want to get off the grid. Like, I literally just want to be like, goodbye. Let me grab my babies. Let me find a little country somewhere that, although there probably may be racism there, but I can kind of be off the grid. You know, people are, you know, farmers. They live off their land. They, you know, get along with people. They're like, hey, it's whatever, right? You live your life. We're all poor here, or we all do what we have to do. We look after each other. And I know that there are places like that out there. And I just want to give my children an opportunity to breathe, to grow up without the festering that I have and that I've had to grow up with. You know, my mom used to tell me all the time, like, you know, this isn't our world. It's not cut out for us. We're just a squirrel trying to get a nut off their tree. Their tree being this country, how the government is. It belongs to everyone but us. And all we can do is play the game, whatever that is, assimilate to it, try to disarm them so that we appear to be less threatening, and just try to live. Meaning we can't actually have a tree, but we can get a nut off of the tree. That's how I was brought up. You know, stay in your lane. It's not for you. You know, you can get education and be just as smart as they are, but you can never have what they have. You can't be like them, you know, unless they want you to, unless they allow you to. But in order for that to be the case, you've got to disown you in order to disarm them. And that was the lesson that I was taught coming up. And I guess that's why education played such a large role for my family, for me. And I don't know. I used to be upset about that because I always felt like, I don't understand why you say that. I don't see it. I don't get it. You know, my great grandmother, she would say things about white people, and I'd be like, how is she saying that? Like, she works for white people, and, you know, she raised them as infants. She was a nanny, and they love her. And she would say, like, yeah, they probably love me until, you know, they don't need me or what have you. And I used to just think, like, she's just old, she's this way. But slowly I started to get that treatment. I remember being in college, and I cut class all the time. And when I was in college, you know, for me, the way my brain is, I don't have to really work too hard to excel at certain things. Or really anything I put my mind to, I just don't, right? That's a blessing that I have. I don't really know how to use it to that degree, but when I was in college, I used it, you know, just easy, you know. So I would go to school and I wouldn't go to class. I'd go the first day, get the syllabus, find out what it was that had to be done, and I'd never come back until midterm or final to take the test, and I'd ace it. And I had a professor that said to me when she gave me back my midterm, because I had only been to the class that one time and I got an A, and she brought me to her office and told me that I cheated, and she's taking it to the dean, and there's no way that I aced her test, and I had never been to class except that one time. And I was scared at first because I'm like, get expelled or like kicked out of college, like that can't happen. I don't want to be kicked out of college. And she was determined and adamant. So we went to the dean, and I did not cheat. I've never cheated at my schoolwork, never. And I was offended after I was scared initially, because the first thought was, oh my gosh, she's getting me kicked out of school and I didn't do anything. I have nothing I can protect myself. I don't know what to do. I was young, you know. Then I was pissed. Then I was like, first of all, lady, what's so difficult? You gave me the syllabus. I have the textbooks. I read it. I understand. And your tests are multiple choice. What's so hard about that? Like, how could I not ace it? It's completely easy. And, you know, she, had no proof. There was no cheating. She gave me another test that I had to take. And I aced that as well. And I had to take her for 3 more courses in my major at that time. And she changed her syllabus because she was mad, I guess, at how I functioned with it. So she changed her syllabus where you had to come to class this many times and have this type of participation, so you had to be there. So I couldn't just be like, I have a free period now because I never have to go to this class, because she gives me the syllabus and gives me all the stuff. So she made participation and attendance the larger part of the grade while I was in her courses. She did that to everybody. She changed the syllabus. So I don't know if she still teaches there. She probably doesn't, because that was a long time ago and she was kind of old then. So she probably is not, she's retired or not a teacher anymore or whatever. But again, that wasn't the first time, and it won't be the last time that I've been accused of cheating. Couldn't be that smart because whatever the reason, really just because I'm black and I know that. And so I've always been told, in order to even get somewhere, you have to be so much better than just to be looked at as less than. I have to excel and be better than just to be less than. And that's always been the case. And I don't want that for my kids. It's going to be the case for them, I know that, but I want to give them an opportunity to be free, to not have that hatred build up in them over a period of time, and to give them an opportunity to be out of the drama, So in all honesty, I am definitely looking for a place for us to go, even if it's just for 6 months, right? Like, I'm picking a country. I've already applied for passports, and I would like to know what the holdup is. Like, where are they? But I'm picking a country that small, could be a little isolated, and I'm going, and I'm out of here. And I'm hoping to leave, July, August. It's really a matter of me getting the money up, because now I'm not working because I've been out of work since this situation. So now I don't know how I'm going to gain the money, but that's my endeavor. That's my goal. My goal is to at least get $5,000 and pick a country like, I don't know, Philippines or Dominican Republic or Jamaica, somewhere, maybe not Jamaica, but somewhere, right, where the dollar goes a long way, so that I can give me and my kids an experience of off the grid for a little while, just to kind of get out of the hatred that's seething right now in the United States. Just to give us a break. That's what I want to do for us. But I just want to say to people that I'm sorry that our world appears to be crumbling again, and I'm sorry if you have to hear ugly things, and I'm sorry if you're afraid. And I'm sorry for people who are not racist, right? Who feel guilty or feel ashamed, because it's sickening, right? And I'm sorry for those of us who are, of color, whatever the color is, and we are afraid and we're fearful and we're thinking like, how we're going to make it after this, right? How we're going to survive this. But what I do know without a doubt is that we will survive it, because we're a race of survivors. Nothing has broken us yet, and it's not going to. So as long as we continue to fight and stay together and continue on and continue to be heard and to educate ourselves and our children and to rise above, I think that in time there can be some sort of unity. I think so. But we have to own it. And those who are in power that are stuck in those ways, they need to get out, so that those of us who are younger maybe, or more open and more loving and kind and not racist, can get in and make those changes that need to be made, whatever that may be. And if those changes can't be made, then the only change that really needs to be made is you keep your hands to yourself and adhere to the laws that you've outlined. And it shouldn't be based on color. Let's just be fair, but I don't know. So that is just my take on the matter. I just wanted to say that, and to say that for my friends, regardless of race, you know who you are, and I love you, and I thank you, and I want you to be safe, because there are going to be a lot of angry people out there, and you may hear some things, they may hurt your feelings, right? But just know that it's not you specifically, it is the situation. And when people are angry and when they're hurt and when they are tired and boiling over, we all say things that we shouldn't say, that maybe are cutting, because words are cutting, So just be careful, be safe, and try to not get so caught up, in what's happening. The change has to start within. It has to start at home. You have to unify your families, and then you reach out to help unify others. I think that's really going to be the key. And I just hope and pray that in time things kind of settle down and we can actually be united how we should be for a nation. And thank you for listening to my rant and my rave. Single Mom Explorer out.